Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. We know on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I like to do videos that are non-financial. So if you're looking for that video, look for that for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or maybe later on today. But today, I want to talk about how a lot of us believe that we live in a democracy. And over again, this is reverberated from elected officials, from the president, from Congress to senators, and this is simply not the case. This is simply not the case. We do not live in democracy. I've been preaching this, I've been teaching this for years now, and people just don't understand that there's a huge difference of a democracy and a republic. But first, before I get into a tangent, before I go on a rant, before I break it down, I would love to give you the history. And I love to go to government websites. Okay, I love to go to government websites. I love for you guys to see it from a government perspective, that I'm not just bumping my gums and trying to feed you propaganda. Okay, so let me share this with you guys. Okay, so this is from va.gov. Okay, veterans, U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs.gov. Okay, so you guys totally understand. It says here the Pledge of Allegiance. Remember, anyone when you was in school, I remember living in D.C. every morning when I was in elementary, we would pledge allegiance to the flag. Okay, anybody remember those words? So understand this. Right off the bat, the Pledge of Allegiance is 31 words. It says, I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands. I mean, I could just end the video with that. But all the thing I keep hearing about is people talk about democracy. We do not live in a democracy. And some of you people are probably thinking, so what is the huge difference between a democracy and a republic? Why is it such an importance? It's important because once you vote and you elected official, you no longer have a voice until the next election. Let me read on. I pledge allegiance. Okay, I pledge allegiance. I'm committed to this flag and for the republic for which it stands. It represents a republic nation. It says, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We know that's not true. Just read the Constitution, read the Bill of Rights, just read the preamble. But I just want to harp on this, that majority of Americans, especially if you was born in the 70s and 80s, then you understand the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. And you are pledging your allegiance to the republic, not to a democratic state, not to a democratic nation. This is very interesting. This is very interesting, okay? Because I have an email I want to share with you that our new elected president, and whether you vote for him or not, every president before him has echoed the same exact thing. This is a tomfoolery that American presidents, congressmen, and senators do to the people. So it don't matter if you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat. This is all bipartisan, as they will say. This is all bipartisan in the foolery and the trickery that they give to the American people. So we just read the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands. It represents a Republican nation. We got it. Joe Biden comes out and says, democracy, truth, and America's role in the world. So this is Joe Biden sitting in the Oval Office at the Resolute desk, okay, most famous desk, signing some executive orders even on his first day, okay? Supposedly he's going to sign 17 executive orders today. But right here it says democracy. Why do presidents, senators, and congressmen continue to somehow ceremoniously replace the word republic with democracy? Okay, maybe I'm the one that's confused. Let's look into it. Let's look into it. What is the difference between a republic and a constitutional monarchy like they have over in England? While constitutional monarchies still have a king or queen, all of the actual government power rests in the legislature. The most powerful statesman in the legislative body is referred to as the prime minister. So they have kings and queens, but all the power when it comes to the government has to do with the prime minister, okay, to do President Boris or Prime Minister Boris. Excuse me. Excuse me. The executive body in a republic is usually popular, elected, and possesses real power to govern. The executive body in a republic is usually popular, elected, and possesses real power to govern. Real power to govern. Once you elect and select a president, the people no longer have the power to put them out of office. The only people that have the power to put a president out of office is senators and congressmen. The people, you no longer have a voice. He can sign all the executive orders he wants without asking the people of the United States of America, because we relinquish our power when we vote. This is why when we were talking about reparations, I was talking about holding the vote. People are like, nah, man, we got to get Donald Trump out of office. You have no power once you vote. So you got him out of office, now what? I move on. Democracy, a system of government by the whole population. Let me blow it up. I don't want to yell too much. A system of government by the whole population, or all the eligible members of a state, meaning those who are not convicted, because they take away your voting rights once you're convicted. I have no idea why. If you served the time because you did the crime, why aren't you considered a citizen and you have the opportunity to vote? See, citizens can vote. Non-citizens can't. Citizens can vote. So that means when you go to jail, what in the world has that anything to do with you voting? If I serve the time because of the crime, why can't I be reinstated as a full citizen? Because majority of people that go to jail are low-life white people and black people. A system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state through elected representatives. Okay, we'll move on. So this is from the USembassy.gov website. Let me blow it up. I want to make sure everybody's reading the same thing, because I am so sick and tired that people think this is democracy. And again, ladies and gentlemen, words have meaning. Words have meaning, and we're not reading. We keep thinking that the people have the power in the United States. And first and foremost, the United States is not a country, it's a freaking corporation. And within that corporation, you would think that you have democratic rights and that you live in a democracy as a people, and the people hold the power. You have no power once you vote. That's why they beg and plead and coonery and what else? Pander to you in order to get your vote. Because they know once I get your vote, you have no more power. Shut up. That is why when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won the black vote, 87% of black Americans voted for them, which landed them the presidency. This is the reason why they didn't need to talk to black people no more. This is why on the Black Lives Matter website, we've been reaching out to President-elect Joe Biden and President-elect Vice President Kamala Harris, and they have not contacted us within the past 2 months. Because you live in a republic, not a democracy. Once you vote, you have no power. Let me read. This is from the usembassy.gov. This is a U.S. website. This is for you guys to see the top. U.S. Embassy, U.S. government. Okay, it says U.S. Embassy in Argentina. But here's the thing. They'll let you know right off the bat. They don't want to really tell Americans the truth, but they put it out on the website because they know most of us don't read. But listen to this. While often categorized as a democracy, I'm going to read it again. While often categorized as a democracy, the United States is more accurately defined as a constitutional federal republic. It's right here. But the president of the United States, Joe Biden, right here says democracy. Democracy. How in the world does the new leader of the free world gets the most important thing absolutely, positively, incorrectly wrong? How does he do that? Because every president before him as well has lied to the American people over and over for your vote, for their power, position, and influence. And when we the people continue to think that we live in democracy, and we do not. This is a republic. Let me continue. While often categorized as a democracy, the United States is more accurately defined as a constitutional federal republic. What does this mean? Constitutionally refers to the fact that the government in the United States is based on a constitution, which is the supreme law of the United States. The Constitution not only provides the framework for how the federal and state governments are structured, but also places significant limits on their powers. It's about to come. It's coming. Federal means that there is both a national government and governments of the 50 states. A republic is a form of government in which the people hold power. So they're trying to tell you that in a republic, the people hold power. But, I told you, here it comes, but, I love this. But elected representatives to exercise that power. How can you say the people hold power, but your elected officials are the only ones who can exercise the power? Again, once you vote, okay, they tell you that it's a democracy on one side, but you're actually in a republic. They're getting all of this from Rome. They're getting all this. All our laws and stuff are from. Did you guys see the inauguration yesterday? Did you see the band that were playing? They were in red coats. Okay, let me look this up. I gotta show you this really quickly because you guys are not understanding what the hell is going on in America. You guys are just so happy Donald Trump is out, but the jig is not up. they are still fooling the American people. Let me look this up very quickly. I really got to show you. This because we are still essentially under European rule and influence. That's what people are not understand. That the people who established, not who founded, okay, not who discovered, but the people who established American were European immigrants. Okay, they the one who came over, killed off the indigenous African descended people as well as the Native Americans. Let's not get into, ladies and gentlemen, I know I have a topic, but it's so much on my mind this morning because we would like to believe that Native Americans were the first in this country. And we understand that there were indigenous Black people, indigenous African descended people in America first, called the Folsom people, Folsom people. They were of African descent. Look it up. And that Native Americans most likely were Asian people, somewhat of Mongolian descent, okay, that migrated to America, that intermingled, that intermixed with the Native Americans, which gave them that skin tone as well as their oval eye shape. But I digress. But we need to understand that America is under Vatican and Rome laws, and that's what people don't understand. So it's mostly like a European influence, a European monarchy that we don't understand, that we just an extensive branch of Australia, the Caribbean, Canada. I mean, the list goes on and on. But let me get here. I want to show you. Here we go. Can I show you this? Can I show you this band? Look at this band. Now, some of you are like, oh no, those are the uniforms that they wore back in the 17 and 1800s. But the issue with this is these are not original uniforms. These are uniforms that essentially they just remade, but this is from colonial Europe. I digress. Let me move on. So now we understand just a little bit that we live in a republic, but even though, let me show the people here on Instagram. Again, this is from usembassy.gov. While often categorized as a democracy, the United States is more accurately defined as a constitutional federal republic. Okay, and for you guys just joining in, I also showed the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance. Everybody remember this? I pledge allegiance to my flag and to the republic for which it stands. One nation, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Okay. But your president, Joe Biden, here he is. One of his 7 things he wanted to put out. Let me read this for you. It says here, to get started, Biden announced a long list of day one executive actions, 17 in all, than any previous modern president at the times. Okay. But he goes into all of the things he wants to do. The virus, sign executive orders for that, for climate change, for inequality and racism, by signing, and when you're talking about racism, he's talking about reduce economic and racial equality with required congressional legislation. Okay. That's not saying we're going to wipe away implied immunity and impunity from the police for justice for everybody. But I digress. Then he says democracy, truth, and America's role in the world. All right. Okay. Declaration of Independence. So we need to understand, first and foremost, before I start, I'm just going to read the preamble because there's a lot of information. So let's first define preamble if anybody's not familiar with the word. Preamble is an introduction to the highest law of the land. It is not the law. It does not define government powers or individual rights. Establish justice is the first of 5 objectives outlined in the 52-word paragraph. Okay? But most likely, here's the thing. A preamble is an introductory and expressionary statement in a document that explains the document's purpose and underlying philosophy. Okay? So basically, it's summarized. That's all it's saying. That a preamble summarized a larger document. That's all it's really saying. Let's move on. The Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Okay? That they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We've heard this before, right? But we know not to believe it. Because we understand that they believe that melanated people are not created equal. We know this. I move on. The Constitution of the United States. Here's that preamble. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, not a more perfect confederate, not a more perfect confederate. For people who are still holding around the Confederate flags, you lost. Just putting it out there. To form a more perfect union, because they could use Confederate here, but they didn't. They said union. You got Union soldiers, Confederate soldiers. You guys get what I'm getting at. Establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain, establish the Constitution for the United States of America. Let's get into some of these amendments. Do I have the amendments up here? I have the Constitution amendments. We're not going to really get into the Bill of Rights. We understand that the Bill of Rights is part of the Constitution. Okay, and there's a lot of documents, but we're going to get into the Constitution, right? And we're going to move our way. We're going to move our way to one of the most important amendments of them all. The 13th, where I'm at, give me a second. The 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment, Section 1. It says, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Why has not the Constitution of America have changed if we live in a democracy? But since we actually live in a republic, we the people hold the power, but we can't exercise the power because we have elected officials. You're probably saying, what is a democracy? Okay. A system of government by the whole people or eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. All right. A republic is a form of government in which people hold the power, but we relinquish our power when we elect representatives to exercise that power. Again, once you vote, you have no power. We don't live in a democracy. See, when those white supremacists on January 6th started the insurrection, they should have been hung. They should have been killed. They should have been burned at the stake for their treasonous acts. But we understand that oh, man. When you really read this, it's something else, isn't it? But let me move on. Let me make my point here. I'm going to move on to the next. 13th Amendment, Section 1, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So slavery still exists in the United States of America, and especially for melanated people, foundational Black Americans. Then section 2 says this: Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. What the hell does that mean? Because they say this kind of after every amendment that they can enforce it. But now this is the kicker right here that most people don't read. They don't read the 14th Amendment. Okay? They may read the first one, all persons born or naturalized or a citizen. Okay. Where is it at? Section 3, Amendment 14, Section 3. Listen to this. This is why the government is trying to, and I understand this, I agree. They're trying to get Donald Trump on insurrection charges, that he insurrected an insurrection of the Capitol. Listen to this. No person should be a senator, you cannot be a senator, or representative in Congress, or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or on any state who has previously, like Donald Trump, taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislator or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress, see, you the people don't have any power. Congress does, and the senators does. But Congress may by a vote of 2/3 of each house remove such disability. Listen, let me highlight it. Let me highlight this. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, it says here, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may by a vote of 2/3 of each house remove such disability. That means Congress has the power, not the people. Once you elect your government officials, your congressmen, your senators, the people no longer have the power. Stop thinking you live in a democracy while you live in a republic. Now, we talked about the 13th Amendment, right? And we talked about how you can no longer be a slave or be held for involuntary servitude except by the way of a crime, and you're convicted and you go to jail. Now, this is the 14th Amendment, Section 4. This is intriguing to me. It says the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debt secured by payment of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt, shall not pay any debt or obligation incurred in any aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States. Then it says this, which is just the weirdest thing to put here, or any claim for the laws of emancipation of any slave. But all such debts, obligations, and claims should be held illegally and void. Then it says the Congress shall have the power to enforce by appropriate legislation in the revision of the article. Amendment 15, Section 1, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous conditions of servitude. So you should have the right to vote previously involuntary servitude or a slave, and not based upon the color of your skin. But when I look at this country for Black people, I'm looking at the civil rights era, and we understand that these amendments were written back in the 17 and 1800s. What am I missing here, ladies and gentlemen? What in the world am I missing? So not only do you live in a republic, and presidents and senators and congresspeople and representatives continue to tell you that you live in a democracy and they're lying to your damn face, and we continue to vote these people in. Again, if you have something to vote for, hold your damn vote or you get nothing. The only thing you get is smoke and mirrors. Sheila Lee Jackson came out and said, HR 40, we're now talking about direct cash payments. Smoke and mirrors. They've been saying the same shit for 60 years. Why do you think Martin Luther King died? Because what he realized is that marching and getting your ass whipped does nothing for black people. He started talking about economic empowerment, economic freedom. He talked about black nationalism. That is when he got killed. He came out with a speech. 7 months later, assassinated. The number one reason for slavery was to make and keep white people rich. See, stories tell us that all of the Europeans that migrated here, or let's keep it real, all of the Europeans who came over and stole this country from the indigenous black people and the Native Americans that they intermingled with and killed off, those murderers, those killers, not explorers. Let's just call it what they are. And then this was very important when I read this. Where is it at? When I read the Pledge of Allegiance on the VA government website, and me being a veteran, I took a step back because I read this. 31 words which affirm the values and freedom that the American flag represent are recited while facing the flag as a pledge of allegiance loyal to their country. And then I read on. The Pledge of Allegiance was written for the 400th anniversary in 1892 of the discovery of America. Huh? Are we still, really, are we still doing this? And then some of you are like, well, Ross, why is this relevant? It's relevant because some of you same coons and sambos and unintelligent black people and those who don't read and those who are not informed are going to vote again for absolutely nothing, and then going to come to the government officials and say, hey, you got any resources for us? You have any opportunity for us? And then those coons and sambos, some of them that are foundational black Americans, but most of them are from the African continent and the Caribbean, say, I came over this country and I started a business and now I make over $100,000. Why you guys can't just do it yourselves? Oh, so you fled your country because you couldn't make it there, and you come over to our country and then you lie to us and say that immigrants don't get support from the federal government. Lies. That's why you'll see a bunch of immigrants from all races, Indian, African, Caribbean, they all live in one household for about 5 to 7 years because they get all these subsidies and monies. Then they start creating businesses. They get their reparations and they're not even citizens of this damn country. But when we foundational black Americans, where our roots, our ancestors stem back from 1562, they tell us we're lazy. But you couldn't make it in your own country. Oh, well, our government is, our economy is. No. Just like any place else, you have to build from the ground up. When those colonialists, when those colonizers, when those European suppressors and oppressors of the African and Caribbean continent, when they left you, when they gave you your liberty, some of you still have some of the same colonial laws on the books. Take, for instance, Kenya just removed their wigs from colonial powers. They were wearing wigs. African men and women were wearing white wigs in their governments to show that they had high authority. They just start removing the wigs. In South Africa, they're still fighting for freedom. Believe it or not, they're still fighting for freedom. They're still trying to get white people out of their government. And then the white people who are there is saying people like Malema is some sort of black militant. He should be a black militant. You colonizing a whole entire continent and you're still involved in our government. Go home. See, I remember back 60s, 70s, 80s, when I was growing up, not in the 60s. But I remember looking at old video clips of white people telling black people to go home. And I'm like, first and foremost, if you knew the history of the Folsom people and the Moors who traveled the earth, we are home, first of all. Second of all, this is not your home. Take your recessive gene ass back home, and I'm speaking to the white supremacists. So don't think I'm hating on white people. I'm not doing that. I'm talking for those who believe they're supreme by the color of their skin. And for those who I'm not racist, but you don't even understand your white privilege in this country. See, you are in support of white supremacy. When you start playing dumb, you are in support of white supremacy. In this whole democracy bull crap, you live in a republic. So when you vote, they're in charge. So groups like Black Lives Matter, NAACP, they pander to black people to get the black vote. We got people outside the line busting bussy, tooting it up for Zaddy, electric sliding all over the damn place, looking like a bunch of coons. Oh, I voted. What you vote for? I know a couple of my friends who voted. It's your choice. But when you ask them what they're voting for, oh, I'm voting because Donald Trump is a racist. Joe Biden is it? Well, we don't want to talk. See, everybody always want to bring up his 1994 bill. I understand that he incarcerated over 100,000 black men, but, you know, that was such a long time ago. It was? Your fathers and uncles, aunts, and mothers were incarcerated because of that. Well, you know, he's different now. He is? Wait a minute. Do you judge a person by what you think they're going to do, or you judge them by their past? Because last time I checked, when you go to jail and you serve your time, regardless if you get out early because of good behavior or not, when you go and sign that job application, which you may have the skills for and the education for, is a question on there. They say, were you previously convicted of a crime and served jail time? Something on the lines of that. And you put yes, because they'll find out. They'll run your background check. You say yes, and they put your pal in the burn file, in the shred file. They're not offering you a job. That's the one thing I say that I believe Obama was trying to work on, that I agree with him 100%. He tried to get rid of that one particular clause on applications because basically you're saying that someone is never rehabilitated. If you're going to judge me by my jail time and I can never get a job that make like sensible money, like 50 grand or more, I'm never rehabilitated, regardless if I serve the time or not. You live in a republic and not a democracy. Can I point this out again, family? Is that okay for the people who just joining me? Can I point that out? The lies have been told over and over again. A republic is a form of government in which the people hold power, but elect representatives to exercise that power. You have no power. See, but destroys everything. You know when somebody say, yeah, I agree with you, but that means there's an exception. But hold up, I'm going to go with y'all, but You're going to have to pay me first. See, but always comes with some sort of attachment, some sort of extenuation, right? Some sort of clause. But, except, hold on, I agree, but except, I'm just telling like it is. Let me go back. I'm going to go back to the 13th Amendment. I want to break this down to you. But, here we go. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except, but, as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist in the United States. Let me ask you something. If American slaves, our ancestors built this country, why in the hell would you have this, that slavery would still exist? See, white supremacists who were involved in writing these documents are not dumb people. They're very intelligent people. They understand that this is about money, because we understand that prisons back in the day, they used to literally contract out prisoners, 99% black, to go and still work on plantations. Come on. That's why it's in here. That's why they always try to suppress and fraudulently voting for black people. You never hear about white people or Asian people. They came inside our neighborhood and we did Jim Clyburn's fish fry. See, when suppressing or fraudulently trying to make you vote or not vote, they come to you and they pander. They listen to some rap music. They put on some Chuck Taylors. They do a fish fry, give you some greens. You know, black people love music and food. So that's all we got to do. But we continue to vote. Because we believe that we live in a democracy and we believe that we are citizens. Civil rights era. Why in the hell, during that 60s where, you know, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, what were they fighting for? In a sense, they were fighting for freedom and justice in a land that, even to this day, will not change the Constitution. In jail, you have to work. There's not a choice. Okay, lock me up. What? Wait a minute. I got to work where? Why do I got to do that? Oh, if you don't do that, we're going to put more time on your conviction. You're going to serve a longer jail time. Did y'all know that? If they refuse to work, they get a longer jail sentence. They stay in prison a lot longer. Did you guys know that? Again, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. So again, I love definitions, boy. I love definitions. Let me just type in what's a slave. I know it's going to be easy to define a slave. What's a slave? What is a slave? I'm curious. A person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. Let me go back. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for a crime. Except as a punishment for a crime. If you are in jail, you are a slave. Who are the majority of people enslaved? Melanated people, black people, Nubian people, African descended people. What's a slave? A person who's the legal property, who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. And what do slaves do? Verb, work excessively hard. Watch out. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff. Listen to this. Look into this version over here. That was Google's definition from Oxford Languages. This is from Wikipedia. A lot of people don't like Wikipedia, but this is a good definition in my opinion. Slavery and enslavement are both the state and the condition of being a slave. Who is somewhat forbidden to quite their service for another person and is treated like property. Slavery relies heavily on the enslaved person being intimidated either by the threat or violence or some other method of abuse. You have no power in this country. Why do you think our forefathers, John Henry Clark, were trying to wake up black people to be conscious? James Baldwin. See, James Baldwin, I don't fault the brother. He left this country. He said, fuck this, I'm out. The people who started slavery in America, the Europeans and the Arabs, blacks have better freedom over in Europe. I'm not saying you're not equally oppressed, because they have oppression and racism, disenfranchisement in Europe as well for blacks. But why is America so goddamn racist? Because these are the degenerates from Europe. These are the skinheads from Europe. These are the descendants of those people. Now, granted, not all white people are racist. Not all. I'd be a fool to think that. But if you don't believe that you are living in a system of white supremacy through the governing constitutional laws, then you're a fool. Then you're a fool. I know some people are not liking what I'm saying, but we need to wake the hell up. We need to wake the hell up. Let me read some of you guys' notes. Let me read some of your comments. Let me see who's hooping and hollering in the chat room. Let me see what's going on. Give me a second here. I'm trying to pop you guys up. Give me 1 second. All right. Here we go. Jermaine Anderson, good morning to you as well. D. Nice says the Vatican laws with Rome. I said that as well. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. We need to understand, when I made that video that's blowing up right now, you guys should go check it out on my channel, that the U.S. is not a country, it's a corporation. Go look that up. Go watch that video. I plainly explain anything I do. I try not to talk over anybody's head, but this is what we need to understand. Because of birth certificates and social security cards, we are registered government commodities, and that we have insurance by the way of Vatican, Rome, and the European nation. Just saying it. D Nice, the game is about to be played on repeat if we don't wake up soon urgently. That's what I'm saying. We replace one white supremacist with another one. One had his mask off, Donald Trump, and one has his mask on, Joe Biden. But people, one of my friends, even on IG that I met when I was in Dominican Republic, this dude just loves Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He said, hey, man, why you be going hard on them? I said, dude, you have no idea. Just watch my videos. I don't speak propaganda. I give you facts. And granted, it's from my perspective, so take that with a grain of salt. But I love reading for government websites in black and white. Y'all get that? Black and white? No, just me? Okay. Miss Curly Girl, thank you for moderating today. She said, glad you all have joined. D Night says, elaborate speech about best that most of our people don't understand, thinking that they are for us. They are not. Learning every day. Thank you for moderating today as well. D Nice, smash that like button. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And if you don't like what I'm saying, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. I advocate for anything. Freedom. How about that? Freedom, justice. D Nice says facts. MLK and Malcolm was in talks to join forces. They were about black nationalism. In that speech, he admitted that he got it wrong. He did. Thank you, Miss Curly Girl. Wake the hell up. If we don't wake up now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be fooled again in another 4 years. And listen, our sons and daughters, like my son, he's 21, and have another son that's 9, and about a way of another son that's 23. If we don't educate our children about this stuff, we have our 9-year-old reading Malcolm X. He don't know half the words on the page, so we make him in a book, because we always got these books around the house, to write definitions. He may read a page a week, but he gonna read that darn book. And he gonna tell people, hey, I read Malcolm X when I was 9. If you don't empower your black children, when they go to these white school systems, there was a book that our son was reading. What was the name of that book? Jeffrey in the Box? What was it? You remember that book, babe? What's the name of that book? Huh? That book that he was reading. I said, babe, did the school give him this? It was some black character on the cover of the book. It was something Jeffrey in the Box. And I looked at it. I said, let me see that book. I said, hey, did the school assign this? He said, no, I picked it out. I said, oh, okay. Okay, you picked it out. Okay. But the book was basically how this child male slave, his parents packed him up in a box and mailed him off to freedom. That's basically what the book is about. Because I was wondering, like, you know what? I'm very on high alert. I'm hypersensitive of what school system give our kids. Because think about this, the government controls the education, especially in public schools, in state-ran colleges. The government controls the education. So yesterday, he brought in some sort of Chick-fil-A thing. I didn't even read what was on it, right? I thought it was a Chick-fil-A gift card or something, right? I read it and said, ho, hey, who gave you this? He like, the school. I said, babe, look at this. She said, no, everybody's going to. I asked him, like, who's going to be there? He's like, no, it's for everybody. They gave everybody one. I said, okay. I can only picture Malcolm X sending his kids to school. Like, hey, let me see that. Did the Honorable Elijah Muhammad look at? Oh, okay. I'm just saying. You got to be very watchful of everything that your kids, okay? Because think about it like this. He leaves out of the house at 7 o'clock. He doesn't get back to the house till around 3:30 or 3:40. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. We don't see him for 8 hours. So if you don't homeschool your kids, then you have no idea what the school system are teaching you. You're like, oh, they're teaching them math, social studies, geography, and history. What history? American history? American Black history? African history? Or they're teaching them that Christopher Columbus discovered America, and that the Pilgrims, not the invaders, but the Pilgrims played nice with the indigenous peoples of this land. Not that they gave them smallpox and killed them all and took their land and brought other European immigrants over here. I digress. I'm just saying. D-Nice says, Wayne, they probably trying to get the white people out of Africa, but allowing China to take over. China is buying up everything over there. That is 100% correct. The African continent, in some places, not all places, are literally buying into Chinese communism. They're allowing the Chinese, because these are a lot of broke African nations. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about these subjects, the big question that you should always have is why. Remember, I always say, what is the why factor? right? Because here's the thing. I remember growing up and I used to get a spanking. I used to get a whooping. I used to get punishment. As a child, as a black child, our parents never told us why. It was always because I said so. But I realized as a child that was very psychologically damaging. So when we punish or restrict or give our children a whipping, okay, legally, lawfully under state law, we give them why. We literally break down each and everything they did, and this is why it is wrong, and this is why you're getting your tail whooped. It's very important. So back to Africa. Why are most African nations are in shambles and are broke? I didn't say all, I said most. Why is that? It's because of European colonialism. For years, Europe and those countries that was governing and controlling and enslaving them in their own country had control over every facet of their country. Education, economics, healthcare, infrastructure. The Europeans controlled every facet of that, and the only thing that they did was send money back to Europe, send money back to France, send money back to the UK, send money back to the Netherlands, back to Greenland, back to Iceland. This is where they send money at. They sent money from South Africa. They sent money from Kenya. They sent money from Uganda. They sent money from Tanzania. They sent money from Nigeria. They sent money from Senegal, Ghana, Togo, Benin, Madagascar, Angola, Mozambique, Namibia, Gambia, the Congo, because all of these African countries have massive amounts of resources, gold, jewels, diamonds, silver, precious metals, metals that they use in technology, oil. And when European countries could not topple the governments, could not infiltrate the land, you know what they did? They incited violence, like in Rwanda. They made things very tribal, right? Because, African people, they were very tribal already. But where you get the guns from? Where the Rwandans get the guns from? They either got them from one or two places or both, the Arabs or the Europeans. So the Chinese government, they're like any other big corporation. They're like any other big corporation coming into Africa. You know why? When Google, when Amazon, when Oracle, when IBM, when all of these large companies see a company that's not doing so well, they say, hey, we'll give you $2 billion. We'll give you $2 billion for this company. And we'll still allow you and some of your workers to stay here. That's what China did. China came over to the African government. Hey, we'll give you $50 billion for a loan. But with this contingency, if you don't pay this $50 billion back in 5 years, this will be our land. This section that we're loaning out to mine your resources, to farm your land, to send stuff back to China. The Chinese is doing the same thing that the colonizers did, and Africans are still not allowing it to happen. Like you're being poor under colonism, other people colonizing you. You was poor, destitute. Why? Because some of those elected officials in Africa have been trained, have been brainwashed by that European mindset of capitalism to be rich while the rest of the country stays poor. they have been very influential in the way that Africans think. So when they come over here and they talk to foundational Black Americans, because here's the thing, I have a lot of friends that are African. I have a buddy that's from Senegal. I have another buddy from Nigeria, and we have these deep talks. And they will tell you, yeah, man, there's a lot of coons that come over here. There's a lot of coons that come over here because of white imperialism. They think about themselves, and then they have the nerve to speak out on us, and they couldn't make it in their country. Well, why did you come to America? Oh, for opportunities and resources. Oh, okay, you couldn't make it in your country. So you better not say a damn thing about foundational Black Americans. That's why when these immigrants come over here and they fill out job applications, not all, it'll say Black or African American, right? And Black will mean from any racial group descending from Africa. You know what they put? They put other. They put Nigerian. They put Jamaican. They put Cape Verdean. They don't put Black. I understand it. I'm not saying they're wrong. They're like, I am not Black. I am Nigerian. I am not Black. I am Senegalese. I'm from Kenya. I'm a Kenyan. I am not Black. My skin is dark, but I get it. But then they have the nerve to come over here and put their mouths on us. They don't know nothing about our politics. They don't know nothing about the laws and legislation, and they sure don't know that we live in a republic and not a goddamn democracy. You can't make this stuff up. Learning every day says, this is how I'm going to be with my son. He's going to teach his son. How did the Europeans get control? Did they take it or trick their way? They did all of the above. D, A, B, C, and D. Circle D. All of the above, my friend. All of the above. They killed their way. They tricked their way. They manipulated their way. They stole their way to this country. But here's the thing. This is why the Queen of England, and I did a video. You guys should go. Please watch that video. Please watch that video. How the Queen of England is the most powerful person on earth. How she still has control and governs countries like Canada, Australia, and a lot of the countries in the Caribbean. And that's why these Caribbean people, not all, don't take this out of context, not all Caribbean people, all coons and sambos, I gotta say it, but that's why a lot of them come over here and they white worship. Why are you Blacks marching stuff? These white people ain't that bad. They gave me a job. Oh, you work at the nursing home cleaning up boo-boo and helping them to their beds. And you get paid $15 an hour. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I have a degree. I don't want to clean up shit for the rest of my life. And the reason why they got this imagery is because when the Queen of England goes over there, she is the queen of that country. Did anyone see that? Let me find this website for you. I'm just going to go over this. I'm going to end this video. It's getting long. But I had a lot of stuff on my mind today. I don't know if it was the inauguration or not. You know what? I'm going to just... Can I reference one of my... I'm just going to... Let me find this website. Man, I gotta show you this. Country under UK rule. I'm just going to look at that. I'm pretty sure it should pop up again. I want to go to their website. I want to go to their website. There was a website that I found that, okay, this is not good to look at. I had a website. Give me a second. I forgot the name of that website. But all the territories like the British Virgin Islands. Who is on the Virgin Islands? Who? Who? Well, let's go through this so we can see the type of countries that these Europeans are involved in. St. Lucia. I wonder what type of people are there. Grenada. Turks and Caicos. Now I need to find out website. Stay with me. Say United Kingdom. Let's see here. Give me a second. I'm trying to find it. Because it plainly, they probably took the website down once I did my video. Give me a second. This is the government of the UK. Man, I had a whole list, guys. Let me do one more thing and I'm gonna get out of here. Let me do this. Let me find this video first. I'm gonna pop up this video and I'm gonna just let some of it play. Okay, here it is. Family. Here is my video. I'm gonna show you this video. I'm gonna go right in the middle. Here. Let's see if it can play. Now, YouTube is slowing down my feed. You see this? You never seen this.
Africa, like, we're going to give you all these countries that we're like, well, you can be in charge.
Because everybody has their own special interests. This is the issue, ladies and gentlemen. Racism, the system of white supremacy, the oppression system is still in place. Even in the UK, mouths and I found out the website. I had to look at my old feed here. Give me a second. It says Royal UK Bahamas. So let me look that up. Royal UK Bahamas. Anybody ever been to the Bahamas? What type of people live in the Bahamas? Here we go. Here's the website, family. Thank you for staying with me. Here we go. Let me go back to the head of this site here so we can just look at the countries. We're not going to get into it, but we're going to get into the countries. We're going to get into the countries here. Where is it at? The Queen's Roll. We're talking about the Commonwealth. Let's look at the Commonwealth. Where is it at? Give me a second. They had a list of all these countries. This is their website. This is the royal.uk. Here we go. The Duke and Duchesses of Sussex visit South Africa. That's not it. Give me a second. There we go. I'm going to show the people on Instagram as I tell the people on YouTube and Facebook. It says a Commonwealth realm is country which has the Queen as its monarch. Are we reading that, family? Right here, a Commonwealth realm is a country which has the Queen as its monarch. There are 15 Commonwealth realms in addition to the UK. So she's the Queen of Ireland, the Queen of Scotland already. Okay, cool. We understand that. What you guys see right here, the Bahamas? Do you guys see the Bahamas? Do you guys see the Bahamas on here? What type of people live in the Bahamas, people? Black people. Okay, the Bahamas. This is why it's important that you understand that America is a corporation and not a government, and that we pay money to European nations like Vatican, Rome, and the UK. The Queen's Roll. The Bahamas is a constitutional monarchy. Really? Meaning that the Queen has a unique relationship with the country. A unique relationship. Okay. In all her official duties relating to the many islands which makes up the Bahamas, Her Majesty speaks and acts. The Majesty speaks and acts as Queen of the Bahamas. As Queen of Black people. Let me move on. Now, I'm just going to read the rest. Okay, I'm just going to read the rest. They bounced me all the way back, didn't they? Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, who's the people that's standing behind her? Are those African descended people? Uh-huh. She's the queen of Barbados. She's the queen of the Bahamas. Black people, black people. Wait a minute. Belize. Belize. What type of people are in Belize? A lot of you guys know people from Belize. How they look? Aren't they similar to you? They got some light-skinned people there, but aren't they similar to you? Wait a minute. Canada, with the exceptions of these hats, have you seen American old school bands back in the 1800s wear these? I digress. But these little girls right here, I got to look at this picture. I got to look at these pictures. Look at these beautiful young ladies here. How they look. This lady, this girl right here, she is darker than me. Melanated people, folk. Melanated people. Grenada. Some of you are not familiar with Grenada, but what type of people are in Grenada? Black people are in Grenada. You see all the black people behind her? These are black people. You will see this picture a little wider, if you know what I mean. A lot of people don't know this stuff. You got to go watch my videos. I try to call it out. What it made it? Jamaica. Whoa. Whoa, Jamaica? And I keep telling you, a lot of coons come from Jamaica because of imagery. They see and they represent white acceptance and white power because they had the queen and all of her officials every year, every 2 years, come and do parades, a bunch of black people around 2 or 3 white people. So essentially, when you are young, when you are a kid, and you see your parents idolizing this figure, you start to idolize it and you start to have white worship and you don't even know it. It stores in the subconscious of your mind, of your brain. You have to teach your kids who they are and where they come from. You have to teach them from Africa to their country. Say, no, they conquered us and we have yet to fight back this British rule. This is why they come here and show us their authority and power. This is the queen smacking all of these Caribbean countries in the face. Like, you guys are 99% of the population. You guys are 99% of the population, and I'm rolling through your streets like it ain't nothing. I'm the queen of this shit. You guys are 99% of the population, and I am still the queen of Jamaica. Look at this right here. I'm not making it up. Her Majesty is Queen of Jamaica. This is on their website. This is on the UK's royal website. Grenada. Her Majesty is the Queen of Grenada. New Zealand. We know they're mostly white. But Papua New Guinea. People don't understand that Papua New Guinea, those people are descendant of Africans. Look how dark this brother is with his African features. You don't even know what all your black people, look at all these black people. And again, UK, Her Majesty is the Queen of Papua New Guinea. St. Christopher and Nevis. A lot of black people don't even know about this spot. St. Christopher and Nevis. Look at these people. I love these black and white photos because you see a sea of black people. One of these kids look like little turns back in the hood. I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. They look just like us. But she's the queen of all the Bahamas, basically. We don't understand how America was first established, not discovered, established. I'm going to go back. I believe it's one more. St. Lucia. Her Majesty is the Queen of St. Lucia, and we need to understand that St. Lucia Hey, what you're doing, that's pretty good. Black Laws Dictionary is good. My brother put me on to that. Black Laws Dictionary is a good book to have. Her Majesty is the Queen of St. Lucia. What type of people are in St. Lucia? African descendant, melanated people that look like just like you and I. You got to understand governments. You have to understand our government. You got to understand where you come from. You're living in a republic that they deem a democracy. And for you guys just tuning in, please rewind the video where I break down that we are a republic and we have no power once we vote. Stop having them to believe and for them to think that you will live in a democracy where you always contain and have power. Please watch my video that the U.S. is a corporation and not a country. And now we'll break some things down for you as well. I'm going to read some of your messaging here and I'm going to move on. D Nice says European tricked us out of the land after we taught them how we was living and building, and then they took it. Yeah, yes, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my time for this morning. Hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. Please give it a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I just don't give a damn. Because we, as melanated African Nubian people, you need to know where you come from, what continent you come from, and then your own Black American history. You should know these things being foundational Black Americans, and also understanding that you should all at all times be believing be one, Black first. It doesn't mean that we are Black supremacists or we're Black racists. Does not mean that. It means that we understand our position in this world and we start to have to think about us and us only the first time around, not thinking about immigrants and healthcare and this and that and this and that. No, think about the empowerment of our entire people in this country and what is owed to us. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm out.